My name is Nikos Nikolaou. I'm the founder and CEO of UNICAF. We are an education company based in Europe, in Cyprus more specifically, and we're targeting Africa. So this is a summary of who we are and what we do. We are the leading online platform in Africa. We have more than 20,000 students. We're adding about 700 students each month, 24 million in revenue end of this year. We are in 11 countries in Africa. We have physical operations in 11 countries. We have our own technology. All the software we're using has been developed in-house. And we have, as investors, the CDC Group, which is the UK government's development finance institution, Goldman Sachs, here in the US, and University Ventures. Africa is the most underserved higher education market in the world. As you can see, 850 universities, a capacity of about 11 million students, estimated to have a need of 50 million additional students by 2030, aged 18 to 25, from 100 million to 150 million. And by 2060, 60% of the world's youth is forecast to be in Africa. If you ask any African government how many new universities they will build, the answer is 0. Nigeria is our biggest market, and this is an example of the problem. Nigeria has 1.7 million high school graduates each year that are applying through the national examination system to get into the universities. There are only 500,000 seats. So 1.2 million high school graduates each year cannot get into the universities. This is just one country in Africa. This is how we've been growing. Student enrollment estimated to about 30,000 by 2020 and 24 million this year, growing at about 70% a year on student numbers and about 60% on revenue. This is whom we target. We divided the market in 3 categories. The students that are able to afford degrees of 20 to 100K. These are students that typically would study here in the US or in the UK or in Europe. Then on the lower side, we have the students that are looking for free education or 3,000 degrees. We are targeting the middle class. These are students that are earning about $1,000 a month and can afford a degree between $3,000 to $6,000 a year. These are our top 15 countries in terms of student numbers. Obviously, Nigeria is number 1. Ghana, Kenya, Zambia, Malawi are some of our big markets. And we have learning centers and physical facilities in all these countries. We have our own universities. So we have 2 types of operations. We have the operation where we act as we operate as a services company. So we take other universities online, and we have our own universities which we operate as an education company. We currently have university licenses in Malawi, in Zambia, and preliminary or interim licenses in Uganda, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, and Kenya. So by next year, we're going to have 5 additional campuses in Africa. We have both local as well as international degrees. We have blended and online, so in countries where we have a physical presence, students are able to attend classes face-to-face, a few hours a week. And we have, as I mentioned, 11 physical presence in 11 countries. We have about 500 employees in Africa. Overall, we have about 1,000 employees. So this is designed that we make it very difficult for others to enter the market, because just getting a license in Africa, it would take about 5 years. So we already have a number of licenses, as you can see. This is about our reach. We have about almost 2 million likes on our Facebook. We have a tremendous reach in Africa. And we generate about 400,000 applications each month. Each month we process through our call centers. We have 11 call centers in Africa, about 400,000 applications from students. This is about the enrollments last 5 years, growing at about 60 to 70% a year. And this is about the revenues projections. We are growing at 70% a year, estimating to have 130 million in revenue by 2025. Thank you very much for your attention.